There's two super significant transits going on for P. Diddy that are almost shocking. It's just, you can't write this stuff up. Puff Daddy is going through unescapable public karma, and here's how we could see it in his chart and what we can learn from it. One of the biggest tells that something is karmic is when it happens during an eclipse season. Eclipses are the most fated, destined situations that could take place based off of our free will. If a person hasn't been living up to their life path journey or their ascension, then that gets all dealt with, sorted out, and balanced, weighed in during eclipses. I actually call eclipses as judgment time because you're going to know by then if what you're doing is working or not. There's two super significant transits going on for P. Diddy that are almost shocking. It's just, you can't write this stuff up. This is the public chart for Puff Daddy. We don't have his rising sign, so we're not going to read the houses, but he's coming in as a Scorpio sun and moon in Virgo. Right off the bat, we have a moon south node conjunction that's telling us in this lifetime he has to rectify his personal relationship with intuition, his spirituality, and how he manages emotions. This is a heavier placement because the individual will live out exact karmic situations because they're meant to alchemize. They're meant to not do them or learn from them for real this lifetime. And this also means that a person who has moon conjunct the south node or sun conjunct the south node, that they're not going to get away with things long term. Sorry, you're on a tight leash in this lifetime. What is absolutely fascinating, and you guys need to pay attention to this, is how Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. It is 16 years of people coming into significant power that have had a chokehold on society in some way. That's very powerful. I'm also thinking of Kris Jenner when I talk about this transit. I think she fits into this as well. If you watch the police report on unsealing the documents, they literally say that they have this all tracked down starting from 2008. And that is exactly when Pluto first went into Capricorn. They have backtracked this entire 16-year cycle in reference to his crimes, and I think that's wild. But what's even more crazy is that this motherfucker has Mars at 29 degrees of Capricorn. Do you guys know what this means? Take a look at Mars. Mars is the way that you do things, what motivates you, what gets you excited, and what's going to make you break some laws, essentially. Like, this is gas, okay? You're gassed up. And he has it in Capricorn, so it's a lot about being at the top of the game, the CEO in power. But what's happening is that Pluto is exactly over his Mars. That is a straight up arrest. Like, this is you're away, you're isolated, you're going to be pulverized because Pluto, if you have not been living in integrity and through ethics, Pluto is going to snatch any power you have. But like everybody is also saying, this is not a surprise. This has been building up for years. I don't think Puff Daddy's surprised. We're not surprised. It's just been a long time coming, but it was going to come. It's going to happen. So what's crazy is that Pluto is retrograde. And so Pluto is exactly sitting on his Mars right now at this moment. You're gone. Second thing that's absolutely wild is that Puff Daddy got first his house raided in March of this year, which was the eclipse in Libra that took place. So at this point, this is literally the definition of somebody being put onto God's hands. He is out of free will. For the most part, you are not being judged. The people are not being the ones who are going to judge. It's going to be God is in judgment right now. You done fucked up and you have no more say in this game. You're under arrest. I also want to mention that Puff Daddy shockingly has the North Node in Pisces, which the North Node is your life path energy, what you are here to do, and what your soul wants to accomplish. With it being in Pisces, you know what this is, guys? This is about leading with compassion. Pisces is, I will help you. I will put myself aside and support you in any way that I can. And it's very healing in nature. It is very intuitive also, but it is a complete surrender into the natural order of things, the natural rhythms of life, the cycles of life. So I mentioned this because he's being arrested on the Pisces eclipse. And this Pisces eclipse is at 25 degrees of Pisces, and his north node is actually at 18 degrees of Pisces. So that's really close. Less than 10 degrees away. And this is the first eclipse out of several, out of the next 2.5 years worth of eclipses that are going to be reminding Diddy of why he came. So the universe is asking him to surrender. And oddly enough is, I think that he's also being sacrificed. Like obviously P Diddy wasn't working by himself, and there's a greater operation above him. And I think that they willfully are sacrificing him, but it goes according to his chart. Because if you're not going to do, then it's going to be done to you. And if you're not willing to be sacrificed, you're going to be put into that position. Not that the north nodes in Pisces have to sacrifice themselves, but the intention here is to let go and let rhythm be in charge. Because the south node in Virgo doesn't want things to be in charge, anything else to be in charge other than itself. And so this is a teaching moment for him that he is not the one who's in charge. It's God. And this is like the epitome too of the soul contracting an experience that reminds them like, oh, that's right. I'm not the shit. Like I'm a person, a human who at the end of the day has a meaning, a purpose for being alive, and a humbling journey to go through. So what I foresee taking place here, no doubt, is going to be a long period of isolation for Mr. Combs. And that is for the sole purpose of him having to do his life path journey. Like this is one of the reasons why you came in. If you're not going to do it on your own, we're going to force you into it. And usually Pisces rules over extended times of isolation. And actually that's what this eclipse is all about too. Is you're going to be by yourself for a minute. Okay. You're going to be put on timeout.